Okay, so now what we are going to discuss is in Kubernetes, we are going to see what is the deployment. Already we have seen, already I have explained a couple of videos, deployments, but what is the blue-green deployment? So before going to that, how many of you explored the deployments? How many of you explored or completed hands-on even in internship? We have discussed some time back. 3 version deployments in a rolling update method. Okay. Yeah, Raj. Yeah, go ahead, Raj.
Hi Vijay. Hi all. Good morning. Yeah, Vijay. Based on our internship, tried with that rolling update steps,
Okay.
and
So you rolling update. Let me. What is the understanding? What is the purpose we are going for rolling update? Can you
so
just give some brief so that it will be easy for me to continue with blue-green deployments and other set of things?
okay. So rolling deployment is like if you are having a 3 worker node setup. So without stopping any of the apps, we are updating the one worker nodes one by one, like making free of one worker node and updating that worker node. By the time all the resources will be moved to the other 2 worker nodes. Similarly, once the first node is completed, we'll go for the second node and also after that third node. So by this we can achieve the upgrade without affecting without having any downtime and affecting the applications. We can upgrade it.
Oh, okay, okay. Yes. So if you see this, uh, let me go back to the article which people share. So here there is a rolling update, right? So it's saying a rolling deployment approach help to achieve zero downtime. Yes, because we have seen in the hands-on how the rolling update will help us. So the rolling update, you need to declare what type of thing you want, right? By default, it will be there. Or you can even mention recreate. Recreate something, you need to deploy emergency fix as soon as possible. Okay. So there is no other option. So you have to use it, recreate. But if you go with the rolling update, we have seen in the lab, it's a gradually it's replacing. So because you said prepare, be ready with 2 and replace with 1. So while replacing one already one is ready, and again it will start prepare 2. So the rolling update is a gradually it will replace one by one so that we will not have any impact. Okay. So now the server fleet divided into groups. So we have deployed most of the time in namespace. You agree?
Yes, yes.
Logically, we have to divide as much logical. How? Because that is where we are building the cluster, and in the cluster we are creating a logical namespace. Okay, namespace. So in this, whatever you do, it will not affect other namespaces. So you can do any mess inside this namespace which will never ever affect your other namespace. So you can create a pod, you can create a replica set, or you can modify it, you can manipulate deployments, you can do you can expose it to services. Anything will never ever affect here. So the more you separate logical, the more you will create a robust environment. Even you can do a lot of testing. So now, if it is a new version deployment fails, then only a subset of servers is impacted from the entire fleet. Are you getting this point now? Where this one, sorry, this one, because you already not replaced everything on the fly, right? So this is one of the deployments which we seen. Okay, but there is another one. Maybe Canary Wharf. I will show it next week. So because I need to prepare the example so that people will understand very clearly rather than the theory. So the blue-green deployment, I'm going to give you one scenario. First, you are going to tell me how you handle. Just forget about the Kubernetes. In general, how you will handle, you let me know. Then I will show you in hands-on how to do this. It's a very simple. The same. If you know Docker container, if you understand, then this is really easy. Only thing is you need to prepare the 2 images and push it to the Docker repo and use that 2 images with a small difference and push it. But how you will push it? So, okay. Now I'm going to give you a one simple scenario. You all going to show me how you can handle, right? So now I have application. Okay, already I deployed, say app version 1. I have application version 2. Okay, this also. So this is already deployed in production. It is going. Okay, so now there is a next release. Okay, so in next release, as I said, most of the time go live means you will not go and install everything. Normally in many of the major production environment, there is an environment called pre-prod. How many of you worked such environments? Pre-prod, production pre-prod. Okay, so can you open up? I'm going to unmute. Can you tell me what all purpose you are using for that pre-prod? I want to hear from you.
So pre-prod is like as a like to the prod. So where we will be having a same set of softwares, sizing, limit, everything. So whatever we tested in pre-prod, we are good to go with the prod. So we can have a more confidence to go with production.
Still, I'm looking for some more point. Exactly. Akhil, staging. Staging, but I'm looking for some different answer. Pre-prod is, it's a very straightforward. There is only one purpose. So anybody?
It is just mimicking our production deployment, same like environment as production. So we assume that any issues that might come up during the production deployment will be highlighted during the pre-production deployment, provided we maintain the same infrastructure configuration of the environments.
Yeah. So you are almost there, but still, okay. I'm going to give you a 2 example. One is, say for example, I told app version 1. So say for example, you are working in one project, Vijay, and you are deployed this application, and after you deployed in the production, there is a people are reporting one small set of users, or say sometimes multiple users reporting there is a bug, or they are saying the main feature is missing in this. Somehow people missed to gather, added the important feature. So immediately you start develop, I mean your team start develop, and they created a, say, minor release version 1.1. We can say not version 2, version 1.1 or version 2. It's up to us. So version 1.2. So definite. So now say 1st April, this version deployed in production. Okay, so again you created and tested with the SIT, development environment, UAT environment. Finally, you bring it to here. Because you already announced that 10th April is going to be my next release with this feature. So you deploying it, and on you deploy this after all testing, maybe some 9th or 8th. Now, during this cutover, during this go live, you will need only the cutover. You will not go and deploy actual work on that day. You agree? You all agree or not? Most of the time, this is going to be, you already complete everything. On the go live, it's going to be only one thing you will do. You will just cut over. Instead of going traffic here, you can redirect the traffic here. So you need some, how do you redirect the traffic in load balancer? So basically, whatever pool you are creating here, instead of this pool, go to this pool. So you need to group this set of servers. You need to group this set of servers. So there will be a group where you need to point towards here. So on the go live day, you will simply, instead of pointing here, ask all the traffic to go here. That's it. So this is the only you will do as part of go live. But after go live also, this environment will be retained till the next release, because you may get into situation where you have to roll back because due to some issue. So at the time rollback also, you will not have breathe because it's a production. So you need one environment as it is. So if it is n, then n minus 1 should be there always. If this is going to be n, this n minus 1 should be there always. So each time go live, this will become a n, this will become a n minus 1. This will become a n, this will become a n minus 1. It is a vice versa. How many of you agree this? How many of you not agree? How many of you not agreeing?
So it's not a kind of cluster, right? So
It's not a
it's
cluster. This is separate environment. This is separate environment, Raj. Most of the time.
Okay. So it should also have a similar infrastructure. So
No, mostly the same. Say, for example, in our case, this is one namespace. This is one namespace. You can say in that way. But the same infrastructure only we are going to create, but in a different logical, different environment, Raj. Because you cannot go. But of course, if your project is having some kind of enterprise huge, of course you have to. See, again, Asar, I will explain again. So you have one production. Are you agree? Can you open up if you are not noisy background so that we can have an interacted way of discussion? Okay, Srikant. So we have, yeah, you can unmute. We have our environment one. This is the production. So in production, there is a go live, you deployed. What is the version you had? Version 1. So up and running, good. Srikant, I have made you as a presenter. You can unmute if you want. So in this production, people are accessing very good without any issues. Now, you also created one more release with some more features. So you want to deploy. So you announced on particular date, go live. But the actual scenario, how it works is you will first do it in dev and SIT and then UAT, some more environment based on your project. Then they will deploy it in pre-prod and they will test it. So the pre-prod already available. Pre-prod already available. And then this version is going to be version 2. Okay, you deployed. Now, during the cutover, during the go live, right? 10th April. Now, what maximum you will do in the load balancer or how you are exposing this. Say, for example, www.iccibank.com. So you need to say whatever traffic comes to this domain. Normally, you will do this in load balancer, but in Kubernetes, you are exposing as a service, or you are doing it via ingress controller. You all agree, Rajkumar, everybody. So in that ingress, in that service, you need to redirect instead of here, you need to redirect it to here. That is what every time we are going to see. This is called blue-green deployments. Now, this go live, I am sending the traffic to here. The next go live, I'm redirecting the traffic to here because why? Because now this is the latest version, and next go live, I will deploy. This is a version 3. Okay, and then during the cutover, I will simply redirect the traffic to here. So the till version 4, the version 2 will be available. Okay, on version 4 is ready. Now what we will do, I will go because almost 2 months, the version 3 is stable. There is no complaint, but I want to keep add all the features. So version 4, I'm going to deploy it here. During the go live, all traffic is going here. All traffic is going here. So now in the service, I'll go and edit. Okay, go all the traffic to here. So till version 5, version 3 will be there, version 4 will be there. But all live traffic I redirected to here, not here. So now during the next release, I will deploy it here. Okay, and then during the go live, I will simply redirect the traffic to here. Okay, so now version 5 will be there, version 4 will be there. The thumb rule is always you have a version N, means version 5. That is the current version. Always you will have the 1 minus version. I mean, before this, what was available? So N minus 1. So if you take your production environment closely, most of the time you will maintain this N plus N minus 1. Okay. So how many of you don't understand? Probably let me know. I will explain again. How many of you don't understand this? Let me know. I will explain again.
Vijay, I got the topic, but if you talk about compute in terms like we are having the second set of pre or prod or prod ideal, right?
Yeah.
So when we choose this kind of deployment in terms of cost effective way, is it a cost effective way or when
No, no,
we
no,
need
no,
this?
no. It's not a cost effective or anything, Srikanth. Say, for example, most of the time, so far I seen, you need to go live. Say, for example, tomorrow you are going live, Srikanth. But the deployment, everything, you need to do it in this pre-prod environment, correct?
Yes.
So anyway, you have to deploy before you go live, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so you what so far I used to prefer is this is even if you deploy, there is nothing going to be affected because all the live traffic still it's going here, correct?
Yes.
So before say for example tomorrow I'm going live, mostly advisable put it here, do all sanity check, be ready, because during the production go live there may be a last minute challenges. I don't know to take it.
Okay.
Okay, because normally you know how hard it is. Change window, getting the change window, or say for example you are raising one change ticket. I'm sure you raised a couple of change tickets. So while raising change ticket, you need to mention the total duration, and in that total duration 8 hours, you also need to mention some rollback hour decision. Correct?
Yes. Exactly.
So within 6 hours, nothing going to happen successfully. Then you need to take a call and you need to roll back, correct? So
Yeah.
during this window, you never, I'm sure most of you faced, you never have breathe to go for it. Because if even if you failed, you rolled back again, you need to get on to multiple calls. You need to explain why it got failed. So there will be a question. You could have tested multiple times, correct?
Yes.
So that is why I'm saying normally major environment, they normally go with pre-prod before one day at least during go live, because this environment they will make sure I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay. With the if you ask me, we used to have say pre-prod, the pre-prod dot iccbank.com. So still I will test with the live URL like this. Okay.
Okay.
So this is how I used to try this. So there will be a pre-prod also will be configured in front end. So using this domain, I will handle all the stub. Now
Okay.
during the go live, I'm going for a services. Simply change the traffic to here. That's it.
Yeah, it's a matter of minute.
Yeah, matter of minute. And also in production, as part of the change process, you need to do a lot of sanity checks. That itself will take a lot of time. But what I'm saying is during the any go live, most of the projects, they will do only cutover, not a actual deployment configuration task. Because normally in production, this is how it go work. So when you want to do cutover, you need to have a proper label for this environment. You need to have a proper label for this environment, correct?
Yep.
So that is what we are going to see as part of blue-green deployment. Are you clear, or shall I give you more example?
Yeah, I'm clear. Just it depends on the application criticality
Yeah.
or customer
Yes.
criticality. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is always advisable. Why? Because still you are maintaining your latest version, Srikanth, and you are maintaining your -1 version. So always safe. Because most of the time I used to face after we go live within 1 hour 2 hour, we get a lot of issues from the end user. So we have to force a rollback immediately. In that case also, you should not go and remove and redeploy. You should have one pre-prod environment as always till you go for the next release.
Okay. So
But
what?
but this environment, most of the time you can say after 2 days stable, you can even shut down this, because now we are talking about the container environment, right? So everything as a code, everything as a script. So you can just using that script, you can recreate quickly. That is not that also possible. That's what we are doing it nowadays.
Okay.
Yeah.
One last question. Yep.
Yeah. Good.
So who will take this decision, like during the contract phase, or how we can go and what the environment we have and what kind of
Which one?
deployment we.
Which decision? The change management related or the technical whatever I'm explaining related?
No, not technical related. However, we know, right? RPO and RTO.
Yeah.
Similarly, do you have any metrics like maintenance window should not exceed more than 5 minutes? So these things we will discuss during the contract negotiation or making the contract with the customer.
Yeah, this is something comes under your change management. So each and every project, the change management process may be little differ. I mean the duration part, the response time part. Whenever you receive ticket, I still remember a couple of project within 15 minutes SLA. You need to accept the ticket. You seen or not? So some of the project there will be a some 5 minutes SLA. So this is purely during the project taken, during the contract. Everybody has to sit together. I mean the business analyst and the product owner and even the architects. Everybody, they will put it on the table and they will agree one common goal.
Okay. Yep. Thank
But
you.
the deployment wise, this is the concept. What we are going to see it now with hands-on.
Yep. Thank you, Vijay. I got the context. Yeah.
Yeah, Muthu. Yeah, go ahead, Muthu.
How will you place the database from a production to pre-prod? If any transactions happening on a production, so will I get the data from after the redirecting to the pre-prod?
So I will first understand your question. So you are saying in pre-prod you will have the you are asking what will happen the data, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you? Okay, there is a lot of background noise. Okay, in pre-prod, okay, normally they will deploy it. Okay, most of the time during the cutover, okay, you will change the connection pools. Remember, normally there will be a two kind of data. I don't know your environment, but most of the time I worked. So there will be a production data, actually live data. There is a one more live data, but not actual live data. It's a live stub. Okay, maybe you export this most of the time and you will test this. So during the cutover, this will be changed, but before this change, they will redirect the actual database here. So this live step database, you should not, as per the audit, you should not use it in any of other environments. Development purpose or SIT purpose or UAT purpose. So definitely this is not possible. So only here you can do it, but you need to create a business cases. So during the cutover, before you change the front end traffic, then you need to change the connection pool, which is towards your live database. Normally pre-prod will have frequently you take the exact clone here. There will be a scripts if you want to have it in a repeatable way, because this task is repeatable.
So there won't be any data loss, right?
No. Because you are just trying to make sure whatever you deploy, it is working properly, so that during the go live, there should not be any last minute surprises. See, during the go live, only one thing, very minimal, just reroute the traffic. That's it. That is the maximum people will do. Okay.
Some transactions happening on production. So if I redirect to the pre-prod, means what will happen if the session will be?
No, wait. So you are deploying, say for example, let me just go. Okay, say for example, you are in here, production. Okay, so you are in pre-prod. Okay, so you deployed the newer version here. Okay, you want to test it. In order to test, before test, you take the exact clone here and run it. Okay, so everything is fine. And during the cutover, before you cut over, you change the connection pools to here. So this will point to here. Then it will redirect it to here. So that means the live traffic will come. It will start flow the actual database. Now this will become a pre-prod. Pre-prod will start point to your exact clone here. So because you need something to test, you need to keep this till the next release for a safer side. So normally this will be exact clone you will test, or there will be a pre-prod will have specific, not all, you no need all tables normally, but you need actual live traffic similar to the production data. Now tell me, what is your confusion? Without this kind of testing, I don't think you can confirm you are good to cut over. you need a specific series of data, at least for before you cut over.
Okay, Vijay. If I keep a session on the server, means what will happen?
Which session?
So my login session is placing in a server. So
Okay.
if I redirect
See,
all the traffic.
hope you attended this one, right? This one, right? This hands-on. So during this hands-on, you observed there will be a 3 container was running. Still I recollect. So while when we applied this, automatically container creating, but there was a 1 container is running. That means what? That container is already taking some traffic. I don't want to disturb that container. That container is still pointing to the production database handling. So once the received request is completed, then the new container will take over, so that you will not lose anything. This is the same you need to do. This is the default functionality everywhere, even the load balancer, even any of the cluster. This is the first thumb rule. When you receive any request, till this request completed, okay, even you this will not come out of the cluster. Even simple, you open a notepad, you type something, not notepad plus, just open a notepad. Wait, let me just give you a very basic example. You type something notepad, okay, you try to power off or restart, you will get some warning, but without some running application, you just do it, it won't ask you. Have you seen that?
Yes, Vijay, yes.
Yeah, the same. So the same logic, you are handling some production traffic, right? During this time, if you cut this, then definitely it's going to be impact. But what I'm saying is, normally this traffic is completed, then slowly you replace. That is where we are discussing all this blue green, all sort of explanation here. So yesterday she posted, right? So that is where we are discussing how safely we can replace, because I already have some processes getting executed. You are getting my explanation?
Yes, Vijay. So once a request is completed, then it will move to the report.
Yes. So that is where, suppose there is no other option, you have a emergency fix. That is why you remember I told you need to, before you use this, you need to revisit all your situation, because this simply, if you apply this option, it won't care what is the request is getting processed or anything, because there is an emergency. Anyway, there is an issue, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So now the question is, what kind of option we are going to apply based on what situation? First, you need to define what situation, then you going to define what option for that situation. That's what we are discussing now.
Vijay, I read it as a zero deployment. So we will have some minimal during the cutover, but that is marginal, so we can call it as zero downtime, right, Vijay?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you are not disturbing anything existing. At the same time, you are slowly, I would say gradually, you are replacing the newer version.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So now what we are going to do is, if you can bookmark, maybe I will create a small video also after this internship. So there is a 3 YAML file I created to make it as a straightforward example. One is blue deployment, one is green deployment, and blue green service. Okay, let me explain first. Open new link. Open new link. So the Canva of deployments, I will create some example next week. I will show you. So here, if you see this, almost same like a deployment, whatever we discussed, the same example, but What I did is simply there is an image which will give you the blue page, some blue color page while you access. Okay. Then what I did is I given some Nginx. So since there was some problem with the green color, so simply what I did is I replaced. I'm assuming Nginx is going to be my green color. I'm just assuming. If you have any green color web page index.html, you can use that image also. The image is doesn't matter, but both should have a different image. That's the idea here. So that you know, blue green deployment means both should have a different versions. Okay. So now, what is the blue green service? It's a very simple. Already we have seen most of our Kubernetes classes. So here, what is the thing we are going to do? Service. But only you need to make sure what kind of a selector. So as I explained most of my Kubernetes class, the selector will not have any purpose. But during this kind of kneel down, okay, I need this with version 2. I need this version 3. I need a specific condition when you want to apply and achieve your goal, then selectors are going to be very crucial. But till that time, the selectors maybe you think it's a really dummy. But when you apply any environment related automation or any conditions based output, then the selectors are going to be more crucial one. So when you deploy your deployment, then you are mentioning green. Even you can mention, say, Raj won't sleep, and here Raj will sleep. So it's a just indicator, right? But please make sure that label, that label, you are mentioning it in here. The same label you are going to do a play. So if you mention that same Raj won't sleep, then it will pick up the necessary environment. If you mention Raj will sleep, it will pick up the necessary environment. This is exactly we are going to see it. Before that, I don't have any Kubernetes environment, but you have to build a Kubernetes environment. But in service, can anyone tell me? Maybe I'm going to check whether you understand correctly or not. Or you to do this exercise, what kind of environment you need in Kubernetes? Where you will, how you will build? I given an answer also to you in front of you.
So 2 worker nodes.
Yeah. But where you will build? Either you will take some 3 missions and go for it, or where you will build. You have an answer in front of you.
Load balancer.
Sorry.
So where we will build it depends, Vijay. Like, but we have to ensure prod and non-prod at least with one node.
So this implementation will do it on a Kubernetes master. We should have 2 nodes, one as a prod
No,
and
that
one
is
as
all fine. But my question, okay, let me explain. My question is, you will install master machine, you will install node 1, node 2 to do this exercise, or how you need but definitely we need a Kubernetes cluster environment. But
Yeah.
my question is, you will take the some virtual machine, install Kubernetes, configure cluster, and adding this node to the cluster, adding this node to the cluster, you will do it, or what?
We can use the Google Cloud, GKE or
No.
image.
But I need some justification.
we can use a namespace, one as a prod and one as a pre-prod.
No. My question is very simple. I need a Kubernetes environment, Raj. showing you the answer. This is the answer. There is one answer is there. So all I need is I need a Kubernetes environment. Will you go and create this machine, this machine, this machine, and configure Kubernetes cluster, or directly go and take the Google Cloud or AWS Cloud or Azure Cloud directly Kubernetes?
Kind cluster maybe you're referring.
Anyone?
Which kind cluster are you
I
referring?
strongly recommend, please spend some time and create your lab. Spend multiple times on your own hands-on. This shows people are learning still as a theory, not as a hands-on. In your own lab, again, I'm repeating most of the time. Until you get dirty on your lab, definitely it's not going to be helpful, because the thing is, day by day, there is a lot of features, lot of version, lot of changes is happening in Kubernetes. Not only Kubernetes, most of the technology what we are studying it now. So until you get onto the ground and you know what it is, then it's not a problem. Are you able to now? I'm giving a clue. Now you tell me. This is the answer.
So we should have our own setup.
No, because I told, if it is a node port, then you need to build it. You need to create a VM1 master. You need to create a node 1. You need to create a node 2. But node port is possible. But if you go and deploy this load balancer type, then definitely it's not going to work out, because directly there should be a public IP should attach to your Kubernetes environment. Then only the load balancer type is possible. If your home is having dedicated static IP directly attached to your wireless router, then it's possible in your home itself, provided you have a huge capacity of servers. Say 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM, 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM, 2 CPU, 4 GB RAM. Yes, it's possible. But normally, if you create a machine, the static IP directly to those machine cluster will not be attached. It's really not possible. So that is why whenever you want to test the load balancer type of POCs, better you go to AWS, create a Kubernetes cluster. Better you go to Azure, you create a Kubernetes. Better you go to Google Cloud, you create a Kubernetes cluster, because it's a load balancer type. They are a service provider. They will provide one static IP. I mean the public IP. Are you clear?
Yes,
Okay.
Vijay.
Yeah. So go here. I'm going here. There is a Kubernetes engine. GKE, Google Kubernetes Engine, right? So go to cluster. Okay, so create it. So GK is standard and GK autopilot. So don't worry. Just go and configure it. So it will ask you what is the cluster name, everything. So you can give it. So I'm going to say my prod app. Okay, so production app. Okay, and come down. Even if you want to distribute across, you can go for it. But I do not. I'm going to leave that with Google. So you create wherever you want to have it. So come down. You need to. You can still select what kind of a version you want. And I'm going for a create. That's it. So in managed Kubernetes, your setup is very straightforward. But I never recommend to go directly to this most of the time. First, you go and create a 3 virtual machine, and you create your own cluster with your own network, and then you need to create a node 1, you need to create a node 2, and you need to add node 1 to cluster. that means master, node 2 to master. Then you make sure all these are ready state in a cluster. That way of implementation, if you do 10 or 15 times in your own lab, then it will be easy for you to understand all this. So we'll wait for some time. It's getting created. It will take some 2 to 3 minutes. We'll wait. So we will refresh it. So still it's normally this creation will take some time because they are backend, they are provisioning all control plane. So it will take some time. Okay, so now it got created. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect it, say connect. While connect itself, they are giving the command to retrieve the credentials. This is exactly we'll do. Where is the our manual way of cluster creation? So go here, installation, come down. So when you get into the manual way of creation in the output, when you run this command, in the output, you will get these 3 lines. These 3 lines will have the file. This file will have the credentials. These credentials, if you have only, you can execute this command. So this when you run this command, it will try to connect the cluster with the credentials. So exactly this is what we are going to do. Say OK. Open a Cloud Shell. I'm just opening a Cloud Shell. So let's wait. So whenever you think, probably you can paste it in one notepad. That will give you a good one rather than yeah, you got the Cloud Shell. So you can maximize this. You can maximize this and say enter. Wait. So once you created, automatically what will happen is you can say 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL get nodes. Make sure you are having all ready in the cluster. So everything is ready. Now what we can do is say 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL, okay, get all. Just mention you have anything. So in the default one you have. So is there any namespace? Get namespace. So you don't have any specific namespace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL create namespace, say prod. So now you do a 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL get ns. So there is a prod namespace is created. Now what we can do is we can go and say we can go to this blue-green deployment. We will open up first all deployments and then we will go and deploy it. Before that, go to raw. We will do one thing. What is the current one in service? So green. So first we will deploy blue and green. We will expose service to green. Let's see whether it is working or not. It will not work. Then we will deploy green service, which is the Nginx. Then we should get the Nginx page. So I'm just copy this. Go here. Say wget. First I'm downloading it. Okay, actually I already have some files. So I'm just going to say remove RF all YAML files so that there won't be any confusion. ls space ls. So there is no file. So I will run this command again. Okay, so now if you see there is a YAML file and I'm going to say blue-green service raw. I'm just copy this URL. Go here, wget. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL apply -f. Okay, we will go with the first blue deployment. Blue deployment YAML file bar. I want to deploy it in say prod. I think we have created a prod, right? 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL get namespace prod. Okay, so we will say 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL apply -f blue deployment. Okay, namespace. Which namespace? Production. Okay, and we will immediately deploy this. Okay, and 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL get all -n prod -o void. Okay, see here, the container is getting created. So what we can do is say watch -n. Okay, every 1 second the command has to be executed. So let's we can keep this. So we will come back. So I'm going to open a new tab. Okay, 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL get nodes to make sure my Kubernetes command is working. Yes, working. So we will keep this so that we need. Now what we are going to do is we are going to deploy the exposing this service, but now expose going to different selector. So 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL apply -f blue green service. Remember, in this file we have exposed green, but we deployed blue -namespace production. So the moment I deployed, see here, there is a blue-green service. Wait, we will get the public IP. Wait for some more seconds. We'll get the public IP. We'll get the public IP. Wait. See here. Are you able to see? Can you confirm in the chat? Are you able to see the external IP? Are you able to see external IP? Okay. So now I'm going to copy this file, this public IP. Okay. I'm going for a new tab. It's a port 80. So I'm just going to access it because it is port 80. So let's check. Is there anything I'm going to get? Definitely we will not get anything. Why? Because we deployed the application, but expose is something different. Why? Because here the selector name is blue, but we exposed only green. While expose, I mentioned green, but there is no green selector, not yet to be deployed. See here, it's yet to be deployed. We haven't deployed as of now. So of course, we are not getting anything because it's going the traffic, but from there, since there is no service listening on this particular selector, it is getting dropped. Now, what we can do is we can go and take this and go for a raw and copy this, going for here, going for this, wget, paste it. Okay. Now, 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL apply -f. Okay, and then okay, sorry, 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL apply -f green deployment -n prod. Okay, the moment you deploy, you need to go back to this command prompt and check what is happening. I'm pressed enter. Immediately go here. See here, there is a green deployment container is getting created. Correct? So let's wait for some time because this expose service based on this green selector ID. Yes, now it's running. Now what we can do is we can go here and see why we are getting Nginx, because in green we mentioned the Nginx, right? Can we do some cutover? Can we do a cutover, whatever we discussed so far? Simple, go here, ls vi blue green service. Yes. So go here, remove the comment and comment it in the this one. Okay, see here, there is a comment has been removed. Now it's pointing to blue. Okay, I am going to apply to green service. But while you apply in this production namespace, the moment you enter, immediately come here and check. Okay, so I'm going to just say press enter. Immediately I'm going to show you. Here there is no change. Why? Because we are just redirecting the traffic. Okay, so even if you go here, see service is configured, but here you won't get any change or anything. But see here, the selector now app equal to blue. Previously it was app equal to green. So let's check it. Can anyone access this IP address? See here. Are you able to see the difference now?
Yes, Vijay.
Are you able to see the difference? Actually, it was the same namespace, same, but we have a cutover. We simply had a cutover, right? On fine day when we go, this is the exact you need to practice. If you practice, I'm sure even you are not working in so and so technology, you can very well climb that. Yes, I'm working in so and so technology. You change your resume, boom. This is what people are really missing it. It's a very simple, but this is the real time. There is no real specific real time or whatever. This is the actual real time. So whenever you read anything like this, get it some use cases and prepare some simple YAML file and go for it. This is how I used to do whenever I study. If you don't know, you participate community. You can ask n number of things in community. Community is not just a first of all, it's not a training. It's the knowledge sharing. Okay, so how many of you don't understand this? Let me know. I will explain again. But you need to go and do this in one of the cloud. Okay, now again, I'm going to switch over, cut over. So now you see app equal to blue, right? Again, what we are going to do is we are going to again cut over, this time back to blue. Sorry, back to green. I'm going to back to green. I'm going to select it. When I say apply, but before you press enter, please make sure you are seeing blue. Now we are entered. See here, are you able to see these changes? Have you seen these changes? Previously it was app equal to blue, right? That's it. It's a very simple example. And go here, wait for sometimes it will take yeah, okay, immediate. If you have any web server and index.html with green color, yeah, you can use it, that image. But at the end of the day, I just want to make sure to make you to understand there is a 2 version, maybe different versions or n plus n minus 1. How do you cut over? Are you clear in this?
Yes, Vijay, it's clear. So this one, for which kind of setup it will be more suits, like apps or a DB, or how it is?
Mostly the front end part, Raj, Srikanth. See, it's not about which tier. Normally, when it comes to Kubernetes, definitely you will have everything in one part, right? That is how people are. But still, people are also having separate part for, but that will reduce your performance. See here, there is a part. Normally, you heard about triple one, right? So you in one part, you will have a web, you will have a app, you will have a DB. Actually, this DB will have a backend connection. So if the pod receives the request, here itself all process will be completed and go back. This is how you prefer, right, Raj?
Yes, Vijay.
So this is why there is a hope you explore it. Init concept, right? Init container. So between your web server or DB server, or between your app server and DB server, if anything goes maintenance, automatically it will not receive. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So normally I prefer in this way only. Shall we proceed? The same.
Yes, Vijay, it's clear.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask another question to all, Vijay, everybody, Srikanth, everybody. Now we did it in Google Cloud. Now there is another confusion I'm seeing from everyone. Keep on. Even yesterday after the class also, there are some people ping me. I know Kubernetes cluster in Google, but I don't know AKS. I don't know EKS. First of all, I just want to understand what does this mean? This really shows people are just blind without having any much clarity. They are really struggling. For many reasons only, I'm keep on recommending people to come forward and share your knowledge. You will get a lot of information. At least you can fine tune your version. So how many of you agree the same steps only you need to do here, you need to do here? Or how many of you don't agree? Or how many of you against this?
It will be similar steps because the base of Kubernetes is the same, just
Yeah.
the provider varies. So it is a similar concept, but we may need to look through the
Yeah, only how you will provision, maybe the service wise, everything. I mean the offering services, Kubernetes. So, but the low level commands, everything is going to be the same. This is also one of the major confusion people are having. So now quickly we will go here. We'll go. So let me just delete, because normally if you go any managed Kubernetes, I would strongly recommend first get rid of it as soon as you complete it, because it's a somewhat a huge cost. So code app, delete it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same. Let me just go and refresh it. Okay, it's keep getting deleted. I'm going to say portal.azure.com. So first I will go is there any other resource? Normally I won't keep. Okay. Something I missed yesterday. Okay, so now what we are going to do is AKS, Kubernetes services, So now I'm going to create a Kubernetes cluster. So I'm just going here. So I'm just going with one resource group. So you can even go some kind of a offering if you are really learning point or anything. So you can go and test it because the cost will vary. So I would suggest to go with dev test. Cluster name is say prod app. Okay, and go here east US, and you can select the default version. Since it's a learning purpose, you can go with any kind of availability. But if you are a production grade, then go with the first option. Come down, 4 vCPU, 16 GB memory. So come down, node count. How many node you want? Basically, I want to have minimum 1 worker node. Whenever you learn, advice is for minimum 2 nodes. But these kind of just already you know all with your free tier. Whenever you have any pay-as-you-go, you always go with 1 at least, so that you can go and check all information. Come down and say authentication. I'm going with all default settings. Come down. Review create. So there will be a 1 master node, 1 worker node. So let's wait for it. That's why I'm always advising, if you learn one cloud, please start, compare and learn another cloud. This will be really easy to survive in a longer run. Because most of the projects, whatever you are going to work, it's going to be mixed. Maybe one project is cloud 1, another project is cloud 2. So if you have this comparative, then comparative knowledge, then you can even go for any other cloud also, adapt easily. With respect to open source like this, even more easier. The commands wise, most of the time you are going to only the build commands. Say when you want to create a cluster, Kubernetes cluster via command line, then you need to use the Azure CLI commands. But once you create it, it's going to be straightforward. The same command only. Kubernetes commands and all same. Till you create the specific tool or provision, you need to use the provider command. Once you installed and configure, then it's going to be the tool commands like same Docker. Yes, yes, Sanjay.
Yes, sir. The subscription showing pay as you go. What is this? I didn't get, sir.
See, pay-as-you-go means Azure, normally they are providing free tier for 1 month. But many people, they are now trying to create after 1 month a different mail ID, different credit card, everything. But these days, Microsoft is having a lot of checkpoints. If you use the same mobile number, same card again, same, then they are not allowing us to create a free tier. So many people are saying I'm not able to learn after 1 month. No, so far I'm using you be with after 1 month you convert your account as a free pay as you go. Pay as you go means whatever now I'm doing, I will get a bill, but it's a very minimal. So instead of go and spend lakhs and lakhs to the outside training, at least you are fail and try. You can spend some money, but this is very less. I would say so far less than 400 rupees or 500 rupees only I used to get the bill. That is I'm saying a very long back. Because the thumb rule is whenever you learn, before you log out, even if you are going to come back and learn for after 1 hour, you delete it first. See here, I'm not into free tier. I'm into pay as you go. Pay as you go means whatever I create, whatever I use to pay. I need to pay. That's why most of the videos, if you see, I stick with Google Cloud and Azure, because AWS is very expensive. So I don't want to go for this for learning purpose. So now cluster is created. So I'm going for go to resource, or directly you can connect to cluster. Say I'm going to connect to cluster. So they are giving it. So now simple, you open your Cloud Shell. I would prefer to go with the different window. Wait for it. See, Vijay, everybody. So there is a command. You will not get any single difference. Correct? Correct or not?
Yes.
Okay, we are going here. We are going to this Cloud Shell. Every provider, they are providing the Cloud Shell. Create storage. So whenever you learn these kind of concept, blue, green, or canary wharf, better you go with the simple example hands-on use cases. This will make sure, even though you never worked or you are having some gap in your career, you can very well project. At least you will have the content to speak in the interview. Okay, so now it got connected. Now, first thing what we'll do is we don't want these examples. We need this one to set up our subscription. Let's go. Okay, it's got deleted. So I'm closing my Google Cloud so that I can go here. I can go here. So first I will set up, and then I'm going to get the credentials, because first I need to download my credentials. Otherwise, I cannot connect my Kubernetes cluster. So now it got downloaded. Now what we can do is we will check 𝐂𝐳CTL. Are you able to see my command line? 𝐂𝐳CTL get all. This is the first thing you need to do it. So when you type this, first you will make sure at least your worker node is ready state along with your, okay, sorry, not get all, get nodes. My mistake. So it's a ready. This is the first thing you need to do, and you are able to communicate to the cluster. That's fine. If you want to go for all this testing, it's okay. But our goal is we need to try. Okay, let me. This themes. Okay, so go here. So our agenda is first to go and say copy this blue deployment. Go here. Sorry, go here. wget blue deployment. So downloaded wget and green deployment. First, we will download everything. So we will download everything. So now we will download the services also. So copy this, go here and put it. So now if you see ls, so there is a 3 file. What we can do is first we will deploy the which one? So blue green. So we will see which one now we have pointed out, blue, green, service. So we pointed out green. So we will deploy blue and expose it to green. So now First, we will create a namespace 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL. Okay, 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL create NL Azure production 1 environment. So created. Now 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL, better you create a one more wait, because one screen we need to create. Okay, open new session. Because one screen we need to keep say 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL get all -n. What is that? Azure prod -o wide. I want this command to be run every 1 second. So I'm adding the each command. Each command you can go watch -n every second. Because this is really good. There is a typo mistake. Azure prod production 1. I think there is another typo mistake. Okay, so there is no resource. It's okay. But we need to find out ls. So 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL apply -f. Okay, blue, green. Again, I forgot. What is the blue, green service? So green. So we will do one thing. 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL apply -f blue deployment where I need to deploy Azure production 1 environment. The moment you deploy, enter, you will go back. You will go back here and wait. See, there is a resources are getting created. There is a resources are getting created from here. Okay. So now we will deploy this in. We will expose the blue-green service. Blue-green service -n, which namespace Azure prod 1. So I have exposed. See here, there is an external IP is pending. The command wise, the procedure wise, please don't get confused with Azure Kubernetes or Google Kubernetes or AWS Kubernetes. If you know one Kubernetes, that is why I'm always prefer to first learn manual car, which is open source. If you learn open source, which is a manual car driving, you can survive in any cloud provider, no matter what. So you got a external IP. I'm going to copy this. That's why I always prefer everyone go and fail in your own lab. But many people, they are keep on complaining without failing in their own lab. IT is stress. IT is not a stress. So go here and just wait. Definitely we will get an error because we deployed something, but we exposed something. So we'll wait. Yes, we are not able to. Okay, so now we got only blue. The selector also pointing the green, not blue, because blue is not deployed. So we are going to deploy 𝐂𝐥𝐶TL apply -f green deployment -n, which namespace Azure production 1. So the moment you deployed, go here, see app green is pointed, but the green deployment container is getting created now. Yes, it's running. So go here and refresh it. See, Nginx is working. Now, what we will do is, please check again, app is green is getting pointed. Now we are going to do a cutover. How do you do a cutover? BI blue -green service.yaml. Come down. We are going here. We are going to hash That means comment, right? So now kubectl apply -f. What is the file name? Blue green service where Azure prod namespace. The moment you deployed, go here, see here, it got changed. It was a green, now it got blue. So now go here and check it. It will take some time. Oh, bye. Can anyone check it, this IP address? Maybe for me. Why? It's a blue. Can anyone confirm you are getting some blue? The different, not Nginx? Strange.
Yes, sir, getting a blue.
Okay, maybe I'm not getting. How many of you getting blue? Sometimes the same I observed in AWS Route 53 also. Most of my POC during classes also. Sometimes if you try from the same machine, it is taking some time to clear. Okay, I'm going to try the incognito window. Where is that incognito window? Here. Opera. I'm very new to Opera. Okay, I'm just going to. So everyone is getting blue. I'm only not getting blue. Okay. See, in the other browser, I'm getting the blue. Okay. So now, anyone tell me, is there any command I did different commands? Any commands I have executed differently? No, right? Yeah, this is exactly I'm trying to convey everyone. If you know one cloud related service, only thing what it will change is it will change the way of provisioning. Once that provisioned, rest of the commands are going to be pretty much almost straightforward, right? So I just did the same. I'm not doing anything. But if you look at this, the first commands go inside the Google Cloud. They have their command line, CLI, correct? Here, Azure Cloud, they have their own CLI. This is what will be changed. But this is nothing to do with your day-to-day support. This is nothing to do with your ongoing maintenance. It's going to be everything same. Okay, I'm just going to here. I'm going for every all the sources. I'll delete it. So this is whenever you learn something, whenever you completed, I just say go and delete it. And one more thing before I delete, I just want to show us. Okay.